Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Expert Lounge podcast from India Ratings and Research. I'm Ruchi Gangar, Analyst from Structured Finance team, and I'm joined by my colleague Shivraj Patil. Today, we are going to talk about our latest market wire titled RBI's Revised Settlement Guidelines Expected to Streamline and Improve NPL Recoveries. In this episode, we'll discuss the changes introduced by Reserve Bank of India and discuss how they are expected to enhance recovery processes, reduce delays, and bring efficiency to the asset reconstruction ecosystem. So let's dive in. Shivraj, could you briefly summarize the RBI's revised settlement guidelines and explain their significance?
Certainly, Ruchi. The RBI's new guidelines aim to simplify and expedite the settlement process for non-performing loans with principal outstanding below 10 million. And previously, the settlement decision required a review and approval from an independent advisory committee, IAC. While this ensured transparency, it also led to some significant delays, particularly for small ticket loans. At present, the revised guidelines remove the IAC requirement for these smaller accounts, allowing ARCs to approve settlements through board approved policies with quarterly reporting. This change reduces procedural bottlenecks, streamlines recovery efforts, and ultimately is expected to improve the recovery timelines.
That's an important shift indeed. How do you see these changes influencing the operational efficiency of ARCs, particularly in the retail NPL segment?
Great question, Ruchi. Retail NPLs, especially the small ticket and unsecured loans, have become a key focus for ARCs in the recent years. Recovering these loans through legal routes can be both time consuming and resource intensive. Settlements, on the other hand, offer a faster and more cost effective recovery mechanism. By removing the procedural hurdles, the new guidelines empower ARCs to manage larger volume of accounts more effectively. This operational flexibility is crucial as ARCs diversify their portfolios and adapt to the growing demand for retail NPL resolution.
The market wire also highlights that ARC's focus on retail NPLs has increased significantly in the last few years. Could you share more about this trend?
Over 90% of the new security receipts rated by India ratings were backed by non mortgage NPLs, a dramatic shift from fully mortgage backed portfolio seen in 2019. Unsecured retail NPLs have also grown more than threefold since 2020. This reflects how the evolving dynamics of the ARC sector and it is how it is responding to the rapid growth of retail credit in Indian market. The revised settlement guidelines align perfectly with this trend, enabling ARCs to process retail NPLs more efficiently and effectively.
Thanks, Shivraj. It's interesting to see how the sector is evolving. Do the new guidelines suggest any other changes?
Yes, while the IAC requirement has been removed for smaller ticket loans, the revised framework ensures that government governance remains strong. Settlements must still adhere to board approved policies, and quarterly reporting is mandatory to maintain oversight. These measures strike a balance between operational efficiency and accountability. In fact, the revised framework builds on the transparency and standardization measures introduced in October 2022, which have already become an integral part of the ARC ecosystem.
Right. So, now from a broader perspective, how do you think these changes will impact recovery rates for ARCs?
See, by streamlining and the settlement process and by reducing the delays, the new guidelines are expected to significantly improve recovery timelines and increase the overall quantum of recoveries. This is particularly beneficial for small ticket loans where faster resolutions can have a meaningful impact on ARC's financial performance and broader asset reconstruction system as compared to legal routes which are more intensive and resource intensive.
Thanks, Shivraj. That was quite informative. It's evident that these changes represent a significant step forward for the ARC industry. Now, that brings us to the end of our today's discussion. Thank you for tuning in to the Expert Lounge podcast by India Ratings and Research. For further insights on the points discussed in our podcast, you can visit our market wire published on www.indiaratings.co.in under the Research and Publications tab. You can also reach out to us in case of any queries. Thank you.